Welcome to this tutorial on using AWS Amplify user pools. AWS Amplify is a development platform that helps you build scalable mobile and web applications. User pools is a feature of AWS Amplify that allows you to manage user authentication and authorization in your application. To get started with user pools, you need to create an AWS Amplify project. You can do this by running the command amplify init in your terminal. This will create a new Amplify project and prompt you to configure your project settings. Next, you need to configure user pools in your Amplify project. You can do this by running the command amplify auth add. This will prompt you to select the authentication provider you want to use. Select user pools as your authentication provider. Once you have configured user pools, you can create a user pool by running the command amplify auth push. This will create a new user pool in your AWS account. You can then use the AWS Management Console to configure the settings for your user pool, such as password policies and account recovery options. To use user pools in your application, you need to import the Amplify library and configure it to use your user pool. You can do this by calling the auth configure method and passing in your user pool settings. To sign up a new user, you can use the auth sign up method and pass in the user's username, password, and other attributes. To sign in an existing user, you can use the auth sign in method and pass in the user's username and password. Best practices for using user pools include using strong password policies, enabling account recovery options, and monitoring your user pool for suspicious activity. You should also use the Amplify library to handle user authentication and authorization in your application, rather than trying to implement these features yourself. In summary, using AWS Amplify user pools is a straightforward process that involves creating an Amplify project, configuring user pools, creating a user pool, and using the Amplify library to handle user authentication and authorization in your application. By following best practices and using the Amplify library, you can securely and easily manage user authentication and authorization in your application.